Do you guys hear those cicadas? They're loud as hell. Hello guys, how are you? David Franco here from twitter.com/DavidFranco. You may or may not know I've been on break from Facebook for the past few days, and then I'm off break as of this Friday at 5 p.m. Eastern. I'm looking very forward to it. I miss Facebook very much, but I promised myself I need to take a break from social media in some regard because there's just a lot of stuff going on right now. I see so much negativity, so many toxic people, and Facebook is one of the primary culprits, you could say. I love Facebook. I love my friends on Facebook, but sometimes it's too much. So I figured I'm gonna take a break from it. And well, that's why I'm on Twitter a lot this week. So I asked you guys to reply with anything you want to ask me for today's AMA video. In other words, ask me anything. So let's just jump right into it. I have 9 questions right here saved on iCloud Drive, of course through the convenience of iOS 11. I'm loving iOS 11. So question number 1 comes from Marty. Marty says, when are you going to build your own gaming PC? It would make for an awesome video. Marty, I completely agree, and dude, I cannot wait. Now my gaming PC, if all goes well, I'm going to start building this fall. And by this fall, I mean as early as next month. Now, look at this. I already have some notes going for my gaming PC. I just want to make sure I do this right. Now, previously, I was going to go for an Intel processor, but shout out to Roberto Blake. He basically convinced me this past weekend in my Google Hangout because he's a fellow patron. Thank you so much, Roberto. I appreciate your support. He said, David, if you're going to be strictly gaming on this PC and not video editing or 3D rendering, go for an AMD chip. Because I was all set to go Intel because I've been an Intel user all my life, except for when I got my first Mac. That was PowerPC. So I'm getting the AMD Ryzen 7 1700X 8-core 3.4 GHz CPU. That should be more than enough for what I'm looking to do. Now, I don't have my graphics card picked out yet. I'm going to do a lot of research on that. But for the power supply, I think I'm going to do a Corsair RM750X. And for the case, one of the most exciting parts for me, because I'm all about design and looks, the Fantex Eclipse P400 TG. And as you can see, I don't really have anything else. There's a lot of other parts I have to do, such as the motherboard, GPU, RAM, SSD, and then cables and random accessories, mouse, keyboard, and whatever. And maybe even a webcam for a face cam. If you guys want to see that, let me know in the comments right below. So yeah, I am very, very excited about that. And that in itself is not just going to be one video. It's going to be an entirely new series of content. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Alright, next question comes from Simon Tong. I love that name. Simon says, hey David, how do you keep your place so clean and pristine? Well, first of all, thank you for the compliment. I take a lot of pride in being organized and fairly clean. I wouldn't call my place pristine because it's not, but it is clean. It is organized, and if I see a mess, I might put it off for a day or two, but then by day 3 or whatever, I'm like, David, stop it. Stop putting this shit off. Get off your ass and clean. It's usually in regards to laundry or especially dishes. I don't have a dishwasher, so I hand wash everything, which is fine. It keeps me busy, keeps my hands moving. So thank you, Simon, again for the compliment. Wardy X360 says, what was it that made you decide to start vlogging and uploading YouTube videos? Honestly, Wardy, I've always loved video. As you can see from this picture, right there, my mom just happened to find out this week in her folder of pictures, I don't know, somehow she came across it. That right there is my first camcorder ever. Yes, a JVC camcorder like this big, and I've just always loved capturing video. And keep in mind, this was years before YouTube was even an idea. But when it came to putting my videos out on YouTube, I think it was mostly iMovie. So thank you to Apple for doing that for me, because I've always thought like video editing was this like hugely complex task. Now keep in mind, I was a lot younger then. I wasn't as knowledgeable. But when I used iMovie on my PowerBook G4, I'm like, holy shit, this is easy as hell. Now granted, it took me hours to edit a video back then, and nowadays it would take me like 10 or 20 minutes for a simple edit. Maybe, it depends on what I do with it. But the point is, I have Apple to thank for that. I have iMovie to thank for that. And shout out to my good friend Alfred. He is one of the first YouTubers I met and actually became friends with in person because of YouTube. And I think he's the one who ultimately convinced me that it's okay to put yourself out there in terms of personal videos and vlogs and whatever. And I did that, and well, the rest is history. And plus, I just like being myself. My tech reviews and unboxings are fun for me, but what I enjoy most are my vlogs and videos like this, where I can just talk to you guys as if you're in the room with me. Jake Shepard, what are your thoughts on electric cars like those from Tesla? Could you see yourself getting one in the future? I love electric cars. I'm not some like car buff. I'm not some like car expert or whatever. I just love cars in general. I love how they look, and I love the tech in them, like Apple CarPlay, the lighting and all that stuff. Oh, and of course the sound. I've always loved the sound of engines like that roar. Now, my Mazda 3 doesn't have that, but I would love to get a more serious car someday. But in regards to electric cars, I do think they're the future. I don't see them taking over because that's going to take a long time to happen. But they're obviously becoming more common, and I think it's really cool. You can just come home, plug, charge, and you're good to go. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. Alex says, you think YouTube has lost its touch? I mean, the content nowadays. Thanks for keeping it real, man. Well, thank you for seeing that I keep it real. This is the real me. No one's ever going to change that. I just said that because I've been pissing a lot of people off lately, but I'm not going to... Anyway, I'm not going to get into that right now. Alex, I don't think YouTube... The content has lost its touch. I mean, if anything, the content is better than ever because there's so much professional content, but there's still a lot of amateur content out there. So if you're looking for both sides, you have plenty of creators to choose from. That's why I haven't really gone pro. I don't consider myself a professional. I consider myself creative and experienced because I've been doing this for a long ass time, so I've seen everything. But I don't think I've lost my way or my touch. I'm always myself, and I'm never afraid to be myself, no matter how many people try to put me down for it. But in regards to YouTube losing its touch, they're going through a lot of stuff right now with Adpocalypse. I mean, there are a lot of changes that I feel they could make, and I wouldn't be surprised if YouTube has a major video competitor, like a major video sharing platform, going up against it 5 years from now. Now, 5 years may seem like a long time, but it's not. I mean, I can honestly say YouTube having a major competitor 5 years from now. That's going to take a lot of work, a lot of time, and a lot of patience, but I can see it happening. And let's face it, if they have some kind of good advertising revenue generating model, then I see no reason why advertisers will consider, you know, platform B over YouTube. So who knows? But then again, YouTube is huge as hell, owned by one of the largest companies in the world, Google, so that's going to be really tough. But excellent question. Scott Kennard, has there ever been a person that's stolen your creative videos content and used your content on their YouTube channel? Yes, it happens occasionally. Do I get mad over it anymore? No, because that person is taking time out of their day to steal my content and call it their own. So that obviously means I'm doing something right. And plus, I can always report their content and block them. Bada bing, bada boom. Done. Worthless. There I go again. A person like that is truly worthless. I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not sorry. I'm not going to apologize for saying that. Mermaid Moonchild. I love that name. And I love that tattoo. Mermaid Moonchild says, where do you see yourself in 10 years in terms of creating content? Sorry, content creating. Great question. Haley. I guess that's your real name, right? Haley. I've been thinking about this a lot lately. I don't know if I'll be on YouTube 10 years from now. I mean, I would love to. I love YouTube. But lately, I've felt more restricted in regards to what I can do and what I can say. From people judging my every word and my every actions and insulting me or my family or my friends or whatever. Yeah, that's in the minority. I realize that. Trust me. I typically like to focus on the positive. But between that and Adpocalypse and YouTube always making changes that aren't exactly best for the creator, I mean, I'm positive thinking. I typically like to think they're doing stuff with good intentions. But anyway, I'm not sure what I see myself doing in regards to YouTube in 10 years. But 10 years from now, I would love to be a lot bigger as a content creator outside of YouTube. I'm talking about the Franco University. Hopefully that site will still be around. Hopefully I'm bigger than ever in regards to generating revenue from advertising, affiliate marketing, and all that stuff. Basically, oh, in my design business. I'm actually in the process right now of trying to build a website design business and also logos and social media marketing perhaps. So yeah, I mean, 10 years from now, I still see myself creating content. I have no doubt whatsoever about that. I just don't see it primarily being on YouTube. So So Haley, excellent question. Benjamin Fakit, hopefully I said that right, Ben. Ben says, how did moving to Strasbourg change your personal and your business life? What are the pros and cons of living there compared to New Jersey? Now, first of all, I'll get the obvious out of the way. This house, my house, I technically own both houses, but I work in here, I sleep in there, but sometimes I sleep here, but I know, it's a very unique living situation. I'll give you that. Yeah, this house is mildly smaller than my old house. Has that affected my work? Not really. I mean, look, I'm still consistently putting out content. Yeah, my bedroom's over there. It's kind of weird, but that could change in the near future because I'm actually looking to rent office space down the street. So that could be really, really good for my business and my personal life because I'm not going to lie. Sometimes I find myself getting sucked into work. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but to my self-employed content creators out there, you know exactly what I mean. You could be working at 10 in the morning, 2 p.m., 10 p.m., or 4 o'clock in the morning. For instance, the last weekend vlog didn't finish until 4 a.m. I was up until 4 o'clock in the morning watching it. I went to bed for a couple hours. I woke up at 6 a.m. to upload that video, and then it finally processed around like 11 a.m. or 12 p.m. noon. So a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of patience goes into creating content consistently. But in regards to moving to Strasbourg, it's definitely given me more video ideas. My vlogs, in my opinion, and in your opinion as well, because I've had a lot of compliments, my vlogs are more interesting than ever. Because let's face it, I actually live near places, which is amazing. My old house was kind of secluded. Here, I have an actual sidewalk with people walking by all the time, traffic going by. I'm down the street from a creamery, coffee shop right there, Rutter's down the street. I'm like 8 minutes, 10 minutes or whatever from Sheets. I love it. I love all the places I have near me. And of course, Target and all the famous historic Strasbourg places, Lancaster places. And the horse and buggies, I love them. I love seeing the horses throughout the day. They're kind of like my reminder of why I love it here. Now, they're not my only reminder, obviously, because I'm legitimately happy here. I'm happier here than I was in New Jersey because, well, taxes are lower too. So that's good for business. Anyway, I'm a lot happier here in regards to personal and business. Do I miss some things about Jersey sometimes? Yeah, I do. I miss being closer to my family. But then again, I see them every weekend now, so perhaps I see them more now than ever. I miss Wawa being down the street, not gonna lie. I miss ShopRite being down the street. But like anything in life, you take some, you lose some, right? And I've obviously taken more than I've lost. So yeah, I love it here. And honestly, I see it getting better, especially if I get that office space down the street. That would be really good for my personal and my business life. So excellent question, Ben. I love it. Neil Plume, the last question of today. Neil says, hey David, what are your plans and goals for the end of the year? Thanks, David. Your patron, Neil. Or Niall. Apologies if I messed it up. Well, first of all, thank you for being a patron. I appreciate it. You are changing my life. You are. Patreon is my way moving forward. Let me just say that. It's a huge, huge focus for the next few years. So my plans and goals before the end of the year. Well, keep creating content, keep being myself. But one of my biggest goals, and it seems kind of weird, it's not really a goal, it's something I'm looking forward to, is to build my gaming PC. I really want to take Twitch seriously. I mean, I honestly wouldn't mind streaming daily on Twitch, and honestly, I could see myself streaming daily on Twitch and just sticking to YouTube for weekend vlogs, patrons only vlogs, and the occasional tech review and unboxing. I mean, if I'm going to put all this money into a gaming PC, I want it to be worth it for me and worth it for my audience. So we'll see. But besides that, just enjoy living here in Strasbourg. Enjoy the fall weather coming up, the winter weather, the holidays, you know, Thanksgiving, Christmas, my birthday. Hopefully we're going to New York City. We're going to Driftwood this weekend, so I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be a lot of fun. Spending time with the family, spending time with friends. So just living my personal life and hopefully growing my business more and more as the months go on. And of course the iPhone 8, the next Apple Watch. Yes, I still have the original Apple Watch. I've worn it every single day since launch day, which I think is pretty cool. Every single day. I'm just proud of that. And just enjoy life. I mean, that's what I'm hoping to do. Enjoy life. Because we're lucky to be alive. There's a lot of negativity going on in this world. There's a lot of toxic people out there. But as long as you remain true to yourself and you appreciate each and every day, because let's face it, tomorrow may not come. As morbid as it sounds, I could die tonight for some random reason. You never know. So I guess my theme of this question is, or answer rather, appreciate every moment, because you never know what the future holds. Even if it means dealing with cicadas in the background. I only say that because I don't know if you can hear them. Anyway, Neil, excellent question. And once again, thank you so much for your support. Thank you to everyone for your support. I realize I'm going through a rough time on YouTube right now. Believe me, I'm trying to get out of my funk. I love that word, funk. But I'll bounce back. I'll bounce back. I always do. I mean, as someone who's been doing this for a very long time, you can't blame me. I mean, you have to look at this from my perspective. A lot of crap builds up in your head over time, and especially if you see it every day. And that's exactly why I'm taking a break from Facebook. And honestly, I think it's helped me. It's not as distracting. Yeah, I mean, honestly, my daily routine isn't as distracting as it was before. Sure, I'm on Twitter more, and Instagram more, and YouTube more, but without Facebook, yeah, I miss it, but my day just seems more focused. So guys, anyway, thank you so much for your support. If you have any ideas for future AMA videos, let me know, like themed videos, like maybe an AMA for my family, not just myself. Let me know, I'm curious. Thank you so much. You guys have an awesome day, and I'll see you next time. Peace.